Further. All right. Well, good afternoon, everybody. This is Fort Mandan right here, and we have Meriwether Lewis with us.
Greetings.
And he's with us throughout this weekend. Those of us who live in the 21st century call this Labor Day weekend. And Captain Lewis will be here for this occasion today, tomorrow, and Monday from 10 to 5 each day. So it's great to have the captain back in his quarters at Fort Mandan, just visiting with folks. Back. And yeah, we're very
taking good care of the place, Rob.
Good. Yeah, it's been a good 200 years here, so it got in tough shape there for a good 160 of them or so, but we got it in good shape here again. But I'd like to ask you, Captain, a little bit about the quarters that you have here and the work that you have in front of you at your desk.
Okay.
Yeah, what can you tell us about what you're working on today?
Well, as you can see, we've got this would be where Captain Clark and myself, we would spend a great deal of the winter here putting together the cargo that we're going to send back to Mr. Jefferson. And one of my projects here is to attempt to document all of the botanical discoveries that are new to science. And Mr. Jefferson has tasked me with sending back samples, and so we'll be sending back all of the samples that we've gotten up to this point. We're going to have, I suspect, we're going to have several dozen samples to be able to send to Mr. Jefferson. And so, with the aid of my Linnaeus and the botanical journals here of Mr. Benjamin Smith Barton, that we use those to supplement our descriptions of the plant species that are new to science.
What is the president going to do with these once you get them back to him? Well, or if you know.
Well, as you probably know, Mr. Jefferson is a pretty avid amateur botanist himself. And so I'm sending him samples here of some things that have medicinal properties. And so it's our intent to send back useful information. So things that aren't just ornamental, but also useful for medicinal purposes. We have here, you can see a wild sage that was collected here on the 1st of October, 1804. In this book that we have for pressing of plants, this is a very time-consuming process here of swapping out the plants and keeping them dry and keeping them preserved and noting the information on the date and the location and the country in which it was collected.
Right, these descriptions that are pretty essential. Let's see if I can get that in the shot. There we go. Very nice.
So I pray that I can live up to Mr. Jefferson's billing, that I was capable of making keen observations and noting of detail and attention to detail, and so I feel a responsibility to do a fine job with that. And we'll send back these samples to Mr. Jefferson before we depart with a small crew that we send back with the keel boat in the spring under Corporal Washington's direction.
That's a big responsibility.
It is. I pray that he does not have the problems with some of the native peoples that gave us so much trouble on the way up. Perhaps he'll catch them on a good day.
Yeah, he can hope.
But I've given him direction to proceed with due haste past those peoples, those Teton Sioux, on the way back to the southward towards St. Louis.
Can you show us a couple of the other specimens that you have?
Yes, let me move my botany book here. We have, see if we have a sample here of a honeysuckle. And you can see we've got a collection date here on the 2nd of October, 1804.
Yep.
And my numberings here, and as I said, I think I'm going to have perhaps several dozen species by the time we depart here. I can move this over here. And I don't know if this looks familiar to you or not.
Yeah, that's it's either the wood or the meadow anemone, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think tribes are known to use that for eye wash around here.
We're going to need that, I think, soon. The broadleaf willow.
Uh-huh.
In the middle of June, 1804.
Beautiful stuff.
Growing along the banks here. See if we got any more. Well, this one's in a bit of a damaged condition here. Let me show you.
Oh, yes.
Rose of the prairie, as I understand in North Dakota, the prairie rose.
Now the state flower.
State flower.
Yeah. It's a very small rose that grows on the prairie, just a couple of inches tall.
Beautiful,
just
small.
Barely holds up above the grass. Yeah.
Small little bloom.
Yeah.
See if we have any more that are in condition to be able to see here.
Better condition for showing, yeah.
There we are. We have here a bit of a cedar.
You know, today that's used a lot in landscaping.
Yeah, I think Mr. Jefferson is always on the lookout for ornamental plants that can be used for borders and around gardens, and he's interested in beauty, but also usefulness.
The hope is that this will create, like you said, so much useful knowledge for people's lives, whether that be medicine or even gardening.
And obviously our expedition has many purposes, but the collection of useful information is our enlightenment charge. And Mr. Jefferson, as perhaps one of the most curious men in America,
yes,
he desires that we collect anything that we come across that is new to science, and hopefully as we continue westward, we'll continue to encounter more and more useful, medicinal, and perhaps even ornamental.
Yeah. Well, Captain, I want to thank you for taking some time to talk to everyone, and
my pleasure.
Of course, the captain will be continuing to do that for the next 2 days here, just a little bit more today, and then into tomorrow and the day after. So we hope to see you here, and we hope you'll enjoy the opportunity to ask Captain Lewis the kinds of questions that only Captain Lewis would know. It's a very fun, unique opportunity. As many of you know already, we have free student admission. That's any kind of students, including up through college, grad school, you name it. So bring your kids here, bring your students here, and just come enjoy the fort on this beautiful weekend. Thanks, everybody. You have a good day.